Stories are the soundtracks of our lives. My name is Osadumebi, and every week I will tell you a short story written by a Nigerian writer or author. That's the long and short of it. So without much ado, this week's story is by Ehighocho Ruth James, and it's titled Never Share Your Music with Your Favorite Person. And I hate how much I hate you, boy. And I can't stand how much I need you. Rihanna's Hate That I Love You blasted through the JBL speaker. I wished I could change the song. I wished I could scream at the DJ for playing the song. But the DJ is not the cause of my misfortune. It's not his fault I fell in love like a fool. It's not his fault I shared my entirety with a man. I believed man. Even God advised against it. I met Kenny at the ATM some years back. I was standing behind him on the queue. It was almost his turn when he realized he had the wrong ATM card on him. He searched through his wallet frantically. After a few seconds, he turned to me and asked for help. He begged me to let him run a transfer to my account so I could withdraw some money for him. He seemed legit, so I agreed. After the withdrawal, he offered to give me a ride home. On the short ride, we gisted and exchanged phone numbers. It took him 2 whole days before calling, and then he asked me out on a date. Initially, I formed hard girl and gave excuses of being busy, even though I was on leave and had already imagined our wedding and 4 beautiful kids. But his calls became persistent, and our conversations on WhatsApp was flowing. I reminded myself that men were scarce, and I had been a single Pringle for about a year. Plus, he wasn't bad looking at all, and he was doing pretty well for himself. So I agreed to the first date, and the next, and the next, and the next. I fell in love with his eyes. My God, they were so beautiful. He had a really charming smile which made me feel so good. Hugging him became my favorite thing to do. His voice was so soothing. It had a calming effect on me. I could listen to him talk all day, every day. He was also a great listener. He would pay active attention to my rants about work and life, and then he would hug me, and the world would make sense again. I soon realized we had similar interests. We enjoyed the quietness of the park at night. We loved art galleries, and he had a ton of great art hanging in his apartment. Crazy enough, we loved the same kind of music. Lionel Richie, Ed Sheeran, Rihanna, with a spice of country music. I shared my favorite songs with him. Hate That I Love You was my special song to him. We would often stop whatever we were doing and slow dance to it whenever it came up on the playlist while chilling at his apartment or mine. I had fallen madly in love with Kenny. He made it easy to trust him. He was honest to a fault, and he said he loved me. I believed him. There were no passwords, no cheating, no crazy exes, no games. He treated me with kindness, took me out on dates, showed me love without reservation. After a few months, he said he needed to travel to the United Kingdom for a course. He said he needed it for his promotion at work. I wanted the best for my man, and so we prepped together. He said we would get married when he returned. Gosh, I was excited. Distance hurt from the moment I waved him off at the airport. He called as soon as he landed in the UK, and we stayed in close contact for the first few days. But suddenly, he stopped taking my calls. He would only reply messages at specific times of the day. He blamed it on trying to settle in. I understood, but it was frustrating. 2 weeks had gone by and it was getting harder to keep up with the communication. I was feeling sad and alone. After another week, my phone rang and it was him. I was so excited. I picked up the call and I started rambling about how I've missed his voice. Then a woman spoke. She said she was his wife and that they had 2 children. She told me that whatever we had was a fling and advised me to stay away. She kept talking, but I was no longer listening. My heart had shattered. I stopped going to the park. I stopped visiting art galleries. The pictures we'd taken together always made me cry. I couldn't listen to Lionel Richie. I detested Rihanna's Hate That I Love You. And so I'm here at my friend's house party, hating on the DJ for playing my song. The tears are streaming and everyone is wondering what is wrong with me. If I try to speak, it will get worse. So I pick up my bag and walk out of the party. I just need to let it all out. For the umpteenth time. I've learned my lesson though. Never share music with your favorite person. Ehighocho Ruth James is a writer who resides in Port Harcourt. She is a medical doctor with a passion for mental health. You can read more of her work on Medium at Ehighocho and connect with her on Instagram and X at Ehighocho. Details and links will be in the episode description. If you've got a story you would like to be featured on this podcast, or a published book you want to make into an audiobook, send an email to info@osadumebi.com or send me a message at osadumebi on either Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or Twitter. I look forward to collaborating with you. And if you've enjoyed this week's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and tell a friend that stories are a good escape for a few minutes each week.